everybody, welcome back to our kitchen. I'm back in our school and I wish you all were here with me in the kitchen, but unfortunately we all have to be safe and take necessary precautions so we don't transmit the disease. But I do want to show you how to make things. So we're going to start off in our kitchen and we are making the Puerto Rican Recaito or Sofrito. Sofrito is the Spanish version for the Caribbean, but it has tomato in it. The Puerto Rican version, the Recaito, does not have tomato in it, okay? But what it does have is aje dulces, which are these small little red peppers that are sweet, dulce, instead of hot. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find them in the store, so what we're gonna use instead are these red bell peppers, which is perfectly fine. They are a sweet version, and it's okay to substitute. They also use cilantro, which is a very sharp-edged, big fat leaf version of cilantro, and what we're using is just regular cilantro. So unfortunately we don't have exactly the same type of ingredients that people would use in Puerto Rico, but we are making a version that we do have with all these ingredients. Another thing, of course, is your garlic. Now, if you notice this garlic, it has a firm, nice covering. It's completely covered. It doesn't look dried out. When you're picking up your garlic in the store, make sure you look for a hard, firm head, and that'll be good for your recaito. And we have our onions. So we're using Spanish onions. I love onions, so we have a lot. And our green bell peppers, okay? Now, sofrito is used in Caribbean Spanish cuisine primarily as like a base. It's a base to season. So you can use it with your rice, with your chicken, all right? And you can use it in any number of dishes, which then help flavor it. It is similar to the French mirepoix. The mirepoix in French is carrot, celery, and onion. And if you've ever watched Emeril Lagasse, he talks about the Trinity for New Orleans cuisine, Cajun cuisine, which is the celery, onion, and bell pepper. So for the Caribbean Spanish, it is the garlic, onion, cilantro, pepper combination. And we are going to make that today. So our tools, let's go over everything. We have our cutting board, okay? And if you don't have this non-slip mat at home, what can you use? Use a rag, make it wet, put it down, and it helps prevent your cutting board from moving. So I can use that right now. We have our paring knife, and what we're going to do with our green bell peppers is we are going to cut out the top, and then we're going to remove the seeds, cut it into chunks, and then we're going to puree all of this in our blender. So since we're blending it, I'm not worried too much about how it looks when I'm cutting it up, so I'm just going to cut it up quickly. Take out the ribs, get out all the seeds. The camera lady is making me laugh. Okay, so thank you. I'll drop something too. All right. This is, we're having fun in the kitchen, guys, which you always should be doing. Always have fun in the kitchen. Of course, be careful with the knives. Make sure you ask your parents if it's okay for you to use a knife. If not, ask them to do this part, and you help, okay? Now, these are very nice bell peppers, and I got them on sale at Key Food for 99 cents a pound, which is great. Normally they're $1.99 a pound, and the red bell peppers were $4.99 a pound. So keep your eye out whenever you're shopping. You want to shop when something is on sale so you can save money. And I taught you guys all that for the last 2 years, checking your circular, making sure something is on sale, planning ahead so that way you can save money and not waste it. Always look ahead. The thing about this recipe that's so great is that it can go into the refrigerator or the freezer. So you can make a big batch and freeze part of it. And that's why I have the ice tray right here. We can put little bits in each one, freeze it, and then that's about a tablespoon per frozen cube. Freeze them in a Ziploc bag and you take them out one at a time when you need them. And there you go, you have it. So same thing with our red bell pepper. You're gonna remove the stem, cut it in half, take out all those seeds, take out the rib. Our cilantro, I already washed it. You want to look through and make sure, see there's a bit of brown leaves. Just take off those brown leaves. You don't want any brown leaves. All right, so we just want to go through it and make sure. And then we're gonna actually use most of it. You can use the stems. Don't waste all the stems and just pull off the leaves of it. There's a lot of flavor in those stems. So, but I am gonna cut off the bottoms. We don't need to save that. What you can do with the bottoms though, is you can put them in the freezer and use it for stock. So if you make chicken stock, fish stock, vegetable stock, save that and put them in your stock and that'll add a really nice flavor. I love to save these in the freezer and put them in my chicken stock. The kids love it. Now again, we're putting this in the blender, so we don't need to really spend too much time chopping it up. So I can just chop it into big strips there, and oops, got a bigger bowl. These in here. And when you're making it, you're not going to dump it all in at once. You're going to make it in batches, so that way your machine doesn't get overloaded. But we do want to mix it until it's a nice fine pulp. Okay, so now our yellow and onion, we're going to take off the top. Then we're going to slice it down the middle. And peel. Now, I also like to do this, is that after I've peeled it, keep that end on because that helps you cut it, holds it in place. I like to wash it under water. Why do I wash it under water? To get rid of that sulfur that makes you cry. So if you wash the onion, most likely you're not going to start crying after you start peeling these. Okay, that was a little. Come from a very frugal family who saved everything, so we don't waste anything. My father grew up on a farm, so learned all the tricks of living on a farm from him. Of course, I had my garden this summer, which hopefully you've all seen my garden videos showing you how to grow things in the garden. It's much easier to edit if it's one full video instead of little bits, you know. So now I'm just slicing 4 big chunks into the onion. Bigger bowl. This is your first recipe homework, so hopefully everybody's already done that and you know how to make this. You read the homework. So, our garlic, how are we going to grate this? Well, at home I have a wooden thing and I smash it here I don't. So what I'm simply gonna do is just take my paring knife and break the skin open. And what I wanna find are 4 really big cloves, okay? And that's a really good big one. The outer cloves are the biggest, so try to get the really big ones on the outside. And 1, 2, 3. Just smack it, and look, comes right out. Very easy. 1, 2, 3. Get your daily aggression out. 4. Okay, there we go. Our 4 beautiful cloves of garlic. Come on over. Here is our blender, and we're gonna do it in batches. So let's try 2 batches. So we're gonna add a whole bunch. And we're just gonna put a little bit of all of the ingredients in the machine at the same time. And then we're gonna mix it. Hopefully all of this will fit. If we can't, then we'll do it in batches. You do need a little bit of water to help the machine blend, okay? So I have 1 cup of cold water. I'm gonna add about a ½ cup for this batch because I'm planning on doing it in 2 batches. And our red pepper. So let's see how this looks. It's on low. We're gonna turn it on. Okay, so let's see how beautiful it is. Now, because it's so liquid, I'm probably not gonna add any more water because we don't want it really liquid. We do want it a nice thick, like a paste. So get all of those in. Clean as you go. Put your dirty dishes in the sink. All our onions. Okay, now that's not all gonna fit, so I'm gonna do it in another batch, but see how quick that is? Nice and easy. Now again, it's pretty thin, but it should be okay. Let's see if we can get the rest of the onions in here. And then we're probably gonna have to take some out to add the rest of the cilantro. So we will end up having to do it in 2 batches, but that's okay. The great thing is that we're gonna put this in the batch, and this will last a while. We can use it as the base for all of our recipes that we're gonna make during this month that we're doing our book, When I Was Puerto Rican. So, I'm gonna pour some into the measuring cup to make space for the cilantro. Maybe some more in here too. Okay. I'm gonna add all of that cilantro. I love cilantro. This is fantastic. I'm very excited to be making this and exploring the foods of Puerto Rico. Our wonderful book, When I Was Puerto Rican by Esmeralda Santiago, is a great illustration of what life is like growing up. Not about the foods of Puerto Rico. All right, I'm gonna put this back in and make sure it's completely blended. Mix everything back in so it's all evenly blended with the same amount of ingredients. This blend. If you don't have a blender this big, go cut the recipe in half. Also, if you don't have a blender, you can do it in the food processor. There we go. Look how beautiful this is. Now this is the flavor base for a lot of stuff. So you add it into your frying pan, put a little bit of olive oil in your frying pan, heat it up, then you pour this in, cook it down. It makes all the beautiful flavors, and then you can add your rice or you do it with chicken, and it smells wonderful. So thank you for joining us. Take care. Bye.